Yo, it's Marc with the Fantasy Knockout Fantasy Football Show. Today is Friday, March 10th. You can follow the show on social media at Fantasy Knockout. Make sure to subscribe whatever platform you're watching or listening on. And let's hit this goal of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube this year. Are you guys ready to kick off a new season? Let's get right into this main event. But first, I want to say thank you to all who have continued to support me and this show. Sincerely, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. We had a solid season last year. I finished 40th in the overall rankings in Fantasy Pros accuracy contest. Pretty good. Didn't hit my goal. I wanted to be top 20. And now I am one of the many ranking experts at Fantasy Pros within their ranking tools. You can select and actually you'll see my name and you'll see Marc Shanup at Fantasy Knockout, and you can use me as a guide with other experts there if that is what you are looking for in rankings. Let's talk the schedule real quick for this upcoming season. This is a redraft fantasy football show, so I only focus on redraft. We're not doing dynasty and all the other stuff. So right now is the off season. During this time, it's the slow time. I'll be putting out one show every 2 weeks. Most of these shows are going to be the news with views, just keeping you guys updated with what's going on in the off season of the NFL. But we'll do a free agency show. I think that's going to be next week. And then we'll do a draft one, and we'll go over all the implications that has with those players. But then come after America's birthday in July 4th, we'll ramp up the show to two shows a week, and we'll get back on that normal schedule for the season, which we'll do shows on Tuesdays and Fridays. And a lot of those shows will include such topics as like draft strategies, do's and don'ts in your drafts. We'll break down in each division, the NFC and the AFC. We'll include projections. We'll do positional draft rankings. We'll do mock drafts and the favorite My Guys episode. And then during the season, we'll bump it up to 3 shows a week. We'll still stay on the Tuesdays, which will be the Waiver show, who to pick up that week. Friday show is going to be the rankings, who to start over whom. And then we'll add that Saturday show, which will be the injury report, which is the ins and outs. My goal for the shows during this season is to keep them short and simple with direct and precise information. I don't want to have an hour-long show and I'm just babbling on about, nonsense. So we're going to keep it short and concise. The goal is anywhere from, 10 minutes an episode or so, 15 at the max. Obviously, the off-season will be a little bit more because there's more information during those. But the regular season, short and simple. If that's not what you're looking for, sorry. But find somebody else that gets what you need, and hopefully you enjoy the content that I am putting out. So I'm going to continue to provide accurate rankings each week. I usually going to post my rankings on the website, fantasyknockout.com. A little plug. We'll update those on Tuesdays, and then I'll do another update Thursdays before the game, according to any news that came out Wednesday and Thursday. And then I'll do a final adjustment Saturday evening, most likely, so that they are ready for you guys Sunday morning for any final ins and outs and injury news and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to this year. I hope you guys are too. I know we're going to have a fun year and got high expectations for everyone. Let's win some of those championships. Stay tuned. Check out the website for things to come. I know this in the next couple months, I'm working on creating a members section to the website, which will include overall and flex rankings, a draft cheat sheet, a little printout or a PDF form so you guys can use that during your drafts. And then I also want to include a trade chart during the season, which will help you better evaluate players for trades that are being sent to you if you're not familiar or confident in evaluating players yourself, and if you're giving up too much value or not enough, or you're asking for, if you need to ask for more or less, whatever, there will be a trade tool there. It'll be a trade chart. So again, check that out for things to come this season. Let's talk some news.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the news.
News with views. All right, so we'll just kick it off with quarterback Geno Smith from the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are finalizing a multi-year extension with Geno. It's said to be 3 years and $105 million, so he's going to be the quarterback there. They could still draft someone going forward and maybe, like a raw prospect like Richardson. It'll be interesting to see what they're going to do in the draft. We'll talk about that more later on. Quarterback Derek Carr, he he got released from the Raiders. He signed a 4-year, $150 million deal with the New Orleans Saints, so he is now the quarterback in New Orleans. Running back Josh Jacobs from the Raiders. They placed the franchise tag on Jacobs, paying him $10 million this year, so he is locked up for at least one more year with the Raiders. And then tight end Evan Ingram from Jacksonville, the Jaguars, they also placed the franchise tag on him. He's going to be earning about $11 million this year, so he's got there another year. I imagine they'll probably work out a deal, maybe a longer-term deal with him. And then running back Tony Pollard from Dallas, the Cowboys, they also placed the franchise tag on him, paying him $10 million this year, similar to like Jacobs. Wide receiver Keenan Allen from the Chargers. So the Chargers, they have restructured the contracts of both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. So they're both signed through 2024. So that's at least 2 more years with both those guys. So good news for them because the Chargers were over the cap limit. So they had to get under that, and those guys were willing to help the team and restructure there. Quarterback Daniel Jones from the New York Giants. They signed him to a 4-year, $160 million contract. So he's going to be the quarterback going forward in New York. So not much to change there. Then running back Saquon Barkley from the Giants. So they placed the non-exclusive franchise tag on Saquon, meaning he will get paid $10 million this year, similar to Jacobs and Pollard. But other teams can negotiate with Saquon, and if they come out with a deal, the Giants have an opportunity to match that deal that new team came up with. And if they don't, and that new team signs Saquon, they have to give up 2 first-round picks for Saquon Barkley because of where he was drafted. And then quarterback Lamar Jackson from Baltimore, similar thing. The Ravens, they placed a non-exclusive tag on Lamar, so it's just like Saquon. So other teams are going to be able to negotiate a deal with Lamar if he wants to go somewhere else, but that team that he signs with will have to give up 2 first-round picks for Lamar. Wide receiver Adam Thielen from the Vikings is no more. He got released today. Thielen, I think he's 33 years old, and he was set to make about $20 million, so it makes sense. He was a cap casualty there. Wide receiver Calvin Ridley from the Jacksonville Jaguars. The NFL, they reinstated him following his year-long suspension from gambling on NFL games. So he is back. Again, they traded for him last year, so really he's no longer in Atlanta. He is now a Jaguar with Trevor Lawrence. And then wide receiver Cortland Sutton from Denver. The Broncos are, quote, quietly shopping him. Now that's not really so quiet anymore, but looks like there isn't any chemistry there with Russ. And then running back Derrick Henry, there have been some rumors or reports that the Titans were like shopping Henry. I don't think that's really true. I think they're just maybe kicking the tires, seeing if somebody would be willing to pay for his big contract and would be interested in it. Otherwise, Henry's going to be a Titan going forward. Well, that's going to wrap it up. The next show is going to be the free agency madness. We're going to see who goes where, what new surprises your team might add for this season. I want to say thank you for listening to the show. Make sure to subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Please leave that rating and review. It really helps me out. All right. Till next time. See ya.